Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Sagittarius, we're going to dip into the God-Goddess energy around you and within you. We're going to look at what your energy is, and I'm going to give you double bouts of advice here. You're going to get advice now and advice for further into the future for yourself. I have combined, to do this reading, I have combined my Dark Goddess deck and my God and Titan deck. They are exactly the same size, so they come together so nice. What do you have here? Loss. Fear of loss. Are you fearing a loss? I don't know. That's interesting. Underline for a pre-shuffle. And then I'm going to go into my Energy Oracle deck. Balance. Angel of Balance. So yeah, if there's some sort of fear there, to try to come into balance with that somehow. Angel of Love is reversed. So it's as if you don't believe that you're being guided by love, for love, in the direction of love. There's a fear that you're going to lose something. And then the Eight of Cups. Or there's a fear that the King of Swords, that, yeah. I'm doing a reading for you just by the underline in your pre-shuffle. The Eight of Cups and the King of Swords. Are you walking away from someone who's not very emotional? There's a lot of disconnect of emotional energy right there with the King of Swords. Eight of Cups. So, well then, let's really get into this and see what's going on, Sagittarius. This is a general reading. Because it's general, it may or may not resonate. But if it does and you're drawn to it, there is an extended reading. And the link to that is at the top of the description within this video. All right, Sagittarius. In your current energy, I am going to ask for your thoughts, your motivation, and your feelings. So, you know, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and what's kind of motivating you. Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Your God-Goddess energy right now. All Goddess energy on the split. You have a hubris, your thoughts. That's interesting. I mean, this is your thoughts. Is this a thought about yourself? This can be kind of taking yourself a little too seriously, or being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it can be, like, okay, in the simplest form, like, hubris is being a little bit egotistical, being a little bit big on yourself here, like, I'm all that. So that's your thoughts. Which is really interesting. Like, is this something you're wondering about yourself? Because now, to get a little deeper with that, you can say, okay, so is that how you're thinking and acting and behaving? Or is this something you're questioning about yourself? Now, usually if that is occurring, it's because you're protecting something like softer inside. So it's sort of like putting up a bit of a shield, not recognizing some sort of a weakness within you, some sort of an Achilles tendon or heel that you have been protecting, and protecting it in a way that almost to other people you could seem like unapproachable, not accessible on some level. So that's it's a really interesting thought to have. It's quite a deep thought, you know, to think about that. So what's your motivation in all this? It looks like you have all Goddess, Dark Goddess, your health. That's interesting. Now, because your motivation is health and you're thinking about something that's deeper here, it's like there's an underlying issue and I see myself showing up in the world in this way. It doesn't have to be egotistical or arrogant. I mean, these cards are kind of heavy too because they're Dark Goddess. So they kind of talk about the heavier aspects of these emotions and feelings and symbols. But it is almost like you recognize that there's something underlying that maybe you haven't addressed, or it's a wound on some level. And it could be affecting your health, could be affecting your mental health, could be affecting your physical health. But it almost feels like you're getting to the underlying reason for something. So what are your feelings? Sovereignty. Freeing yourself from this, I would say. Definitely freeing yourself from this. Your feelings are you want to feel free and open and expansive. And I mean, like, you're purely responsible for yourself. No one else has control over your direction, your thoughts even, your motivation, and your feelings. You want your feelings to be your own. That's interesting. You want your feelings to be your own. Wow, gosh, this is deep energy. So you want your feelings to be your own. And this card is just sending off like all sorts of synapses in my brain where it sits with thoughts. It's almost as if you are experiencing particular feelings and maybe reacting in certain ways to circumstances, interactions with people. And it's coming, you might be realizing that it's been coming off a little bit, or you might not even have realized, maybe not even just now, or right away, why people react a certain way to how you react. And it's almost like seeing yourself from a distance and looking at that and going, wow, that's not really how I was trying to present myself. That's not really like the body language that I was trying to convey, like a message in that, or the tone of my voice. Because this is kind of like a challenging energy too. Well, how do you can't really go up against that with Sagittarius. And now thinking, but that's not how I want to be. So why am I being like that? Is this something that, like, I was taught as a child? Is it something that I witnessed as a child? And now I'm just acting that out and not really realizing it? I mean, the mind is such a fascinating thing because the mind can be programmed to be anything. It really can. I've been watching The Last Kingdom and I'm in season 5 now. And one of the things I find fascinating is the gore. I find the gore a little difficult. Just like a little squeamish with that. But the characters in them and the storyline are so deep. And then as it continues to play out, seeing how these characters are transforming over time. But one of the things I find fascinating is that the Danes, the Vikings, it's nothing for them to go and slash throats and stab and kill. But they were like raised in that. That's what you do. It's like if you're raised on a farm too. Yeah, when it's time to slaughter the steers or the lambs, that's what you do. But then if you look at someone who has not experienced that, who's lived a completely different life, someone else has butchered the food, there is a sense of even fragility, like a fragile mind in terms of being able to handle more severe outcomes. But then the person who's able to handle the more severe outcomes has difficulty handling the more fragile, intimate spaces. So it's almost as if like there is some sort of training. It wasn't necessarily intended as training. Your environment at some point has created something in how you display yourself. And you're thinking about that and thinking, I want my feelings to be mine. And I want them to be known as mine. And of course, if this isn't, you're more like your health. It sits in you, right? Like the compromises and perhaps sacrifices. If there's enough of that over time, you could be compromising your own path. Wow, something. Wrath, purification, empowerment. Wabba. You have all goddess energy too. I love this. I think, was it Sagittarius or not Sagittarius? Scorpio that had all God energy, God and Titan, and you're like pulling off all this feminine. Wrath, controlling a storm, controlling your own inner storm, purifying yourself, and this brings you empowerment. There might be times where you react a little harshly, a little critically. There's a couple of signs I can think of that do that in the comments sometimes at me. You can be one of them, I'm just saying. Wrath and purification and empowerment. You are purifying the anger within. Oh, this is crazy. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who's not in season 5 yet. If this person gets purified in the storyline, I'll be so surprised. Okay. This is really interesting energy. Oh yeah, look too, like she's this coiled up snake on the ground. And it's almost like she's reaching for these birds that are flying. So, you know, the symbolism of the snake is, to me, even if you don't look at biblical metaphors of the snake, it freaks you out. You're just minding your own business, walking down a path. What's that? Right? Like it freaks you out. So just the natural, like snakes are good. They have a great part in our ecosystem. They can freak me out a little bit. I'm expecting them. But like almost being told something. Like both of these are kind of hidden energies. One is a spider and one is a snake. They're not exactly seen as the best things. So I don't know if there's, you know, when good things come around you sometimes, you might have difficulty dealing with it. Like you could be more of that kind of Dane Viking energy where, you know, if someone does come towards you in honesty and integrity and they're being very vulnerable, you might be suspicious. What do you want, bitch? What's going on? What are you trying to get from me? Interesting. But then kind of thinking, this is not who I want to be. This is not what I want to feel. I want to be in control of my own feelings. Indecision. Indecisive about how you show up. How you display yourself. Some of you too, this could kind of be like, you know, not being overly confident in situations because you were told you were the snake, or you know, it's just the animal that compared to the bird that is kind of hidden in the bushes. It's slithering around. It's elusive. It's, you know, compared to the bird is symbolized as purity and freedom and all good things. Your motivation, health, anxiety. You're thinking. Let's get right into hubris. Before we go any further, let's get right into it. Arachne. Because it's your thoughts. It could be your mental health. Dealing with mental health issues. I do have a little bit down in my description, I do have a link for all sorts of different, it's a universal one because I know people are watching from all over the place. Okay, dark goddess guidance for this hubris. You have been spinning a web of deceit and have become caught in the hubris that is your life. Oh, okay, so your whole life could sometimes just feel like, what did I make here? Is this really the symbol of me? In truth, it has not been easy for you, and instead of shining your light brightly, you've hidden your gifts and abilities. The problem is the scales have tipped and there is no healthy balance. So now it seems you boast your greatness to anyone who will listen. Important to remember that nobody takes a show off. Your bragging and excessive pride could lead you to fall. However, Arachne knows just how you feel. Competing in this world is not easy, yet you have done well to promote yourself to the top of how do you say it? Haughty superiority. As Arachne looks at you with her super skilled spider sight, only insecurity and self-doubt make an appearance. See, that's what I mean? Like it's hiding something. Your lack of self-confidence is clear to see and is the culprit behind your pomposity. Time to untangle yourself from this sticky web. Now, I don't know what level this is. It could be like really down here. Some of you could be way up here, but I always find these very dramatic. Okay, the foresight in this. Face your fear of spiders. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't like spiders either, so I totally get you on that one. Are you coming from a place of ego or from the heart? Be careful not to brag. Don't try so hard. You will receive the recognition you deserve. Be the real you. Weave your life constructively. A spider indicates choices to be made. So Arachne revealed, archetypal exhibitionist or of Greek origin. Arachne was a most gifted weaver who challenged Athena. Talent she had, but her attitude left much to be desired. Realizing this, Arachne took her own life in shame. Oh, I love you guys, don't do that. Athena brought her back as a spider so Arachne could do what she truly loved, to weave forevermore. Oh, I just got like a feeling in the pit of my stomach. Oh, really? Like, I hope you guys are doing okay. Because this anxiety is showing up here too with your health for your motivation. What's next? Feelings, sovereignty, financial constraint. Well, that's sovereignty right there. My goodness. Trying to claim, like, perhaps physical sovereignty in your life somehow. I feel like that is the most, on the surface, present sovereignty to try to claim, because your own thoughts and feelings can be yours to deal with. But if you are physically captive or physically held in a situation, you know, too, because of financial circumstances, you can't choose. You can't physically choose your path. Man holding a coin in deceit. Interesting. Look at this. I think somebody here, perhaps, is living higher than they can or should. We're getting this, all of a sudden we have all this financial, and you got financial with your feelings. There's something going on here about either you have more money than you're showing, or you don't have as much as you're showing. And that would definitely come into hubris. Okay, so you're showing like you have more than you do. But why? You don't need to keep up with anybody, right? Is there a sense of that somehow here? This reading is so deep. Okay, now we're going to go to your advice. I'm going to keep using the same decks. You're thinking yourself into, I don't know, it just feels like not feeling very healthy here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put, I'll pin it, the first comment in this video. I found it last night, and I found it so calming. It wasn't like the most, you know, professionally put together video. But that really didn't matter, because there was I think there was a really good effort made with what somebody had at hand to do. And it is like a Reiki healing session, and I loved it. And she's got birds playing in the background, and it feels like she's working you. And I listened to that before I went to sleep last night. Oh, it was I actually put it back and I did it again. And just watching her, it's an ASMR with Reiki. And oh, it felt good. Okay. And then there's also like I think she talked about purifying your thoughts and your mind and that. I'm going to pin that in the comments. I remember, I don't even think it just popped up and I thought, oh, I was listening to my singing bowls and then I saw this and I thought, oh, I'm going to see what this is all about. Because I've seen that, you know, like Reiki healing from, you know, remote Reiki healing. I don't know, it felt really good. So I'm gonna do that for y'all. Okay, so now let's see the advice for now, as well as in the future. Advice for now, as well as in the future. Wisdom, Thoth, wow. Learning something here. I kind of feel like Thoth asking you to come into the library. Thoth asking you to come into the library. There's something to learn here. Advice in the future. Inspiration. Siriduin. Ooh. It's almost as if finding a new spell, a new energy for yourself, a new manifestation. Thinking about something else. Oh gosh, empowerment is at the bottom again. Wow, there's a lot of cards in here, you know, to get these repeats. I think it's quite significant. Okay, remember we had these two. That's really interesting. Could even be hiding money. I don't know. Or you could feel like someone is hiding money from you. Okay, the advice now with wisdom and Thoth. Often I feel like you kind of know what you already have the answer. You somehow already have the answer to what it is that you seek, to what it is that really bothers you. But like maybe you're even just like being like this to yourself. Like maybe you're convincing yourself of something that you are, but you really aren't. Like, this has a feeling of, you know, compromising yourself somehow. And you just start feeling like kind of pushing a part of yourself away into the background. And you're going to feel it. You're going to kind of feel it. And it's an indication. And like, the thing is, once it gets hidden, appreciation. Wow, you can be appreciated for exactly who you are. Without putting on any sort of a show. Without, worrying about how you show yourself to be. Self-appreciation is the answer here. Yeah, this is very deep. Advice in the future, inspiration. Oh, door to personal healing and happiness. Yeah. Okay, attachment and hostilities, angel of balance. Okay. Yeah, there's something, this is very specific. So I don't know how many people it's going to resonate with, but I've got to tell you from an honest, open point, I cannot twist this reading. There's something going on for someone here where you're almost like you're trying to display yourself to be something you're not. And now you could find yourself having been raised in an environment, or maybe just kind of like ending up in an environment, and it might have to do with money, where people could be quite wealthy, or they at least appear to be quite wealthy. I don't know what it is, but it really feels like you're trying to show up as something that you're not, to possibly fit in to an environment or with a group of people, or to fit a stereotype that you've been told is kind of like you. And it's eating away at you. This anxiety and indecision and health, my goodness. And then the attachment, right, with the hostilities and angel of balance. This is not defense. This attachment and the hostilities feels like this, what I tried to explain early on in the reading. And then the angel of balance is like trying to get a balance in how you see yourself and how you allow others to see yourself as well. Because, okay, think about this. If this does have something to do with finances, or what you can afford to buy or not afford to buy, or I don't know. I mean, it could have something to do with some other part of your life, but I'm just going to stick with that because we got all the pentacles for it. Like the people that perhaps, if you are in an environment where people are quite wealthy, or they're making a lot of money, or I don't know, they're at least showing up like they are. See, that's the thing. The ones that are showing up like they are, that's who, you know, you would kind of see those people as being fake. And like, what are you really doing? Is that really your goal, is just to build up a financial wealth in your life and not have any substance behind it? Because that's how you're showing up. But you don't realize it because you're just trying to feel comfortable in an environment that on some level you feel like you're not allowed to belong there, or you're not good enough to belong there. But that's incorrect, because the people that are in that environment that perhaps have this wealth or status or whatever that could be, that you feel like you don't have, but you have to kind of show up somehow like you do. The people that have real substance won't give a shit about how much money you make or how much status you have. Those are the real gems, and those are the ones you want to find. But it might be hard to find those ones because they're going to see you like the fake ones that they already see in their environment. But I really don't think you are, because A, you come into a reading like this and I can see that it's causing anxiety, and it's probably affecting your health on some level here. Oh my goodness. I feel like it just went off on you. I'm so sorry. Door to personal healing and happiness. Your happiness is connected to your healing, and your healing is connected to your happiness. If you have mental anxiety, I mean, we're all going to get mental anxiety throughout our lives at different points when we're going through difficult situations, or we don't know what's going to happen, but it's kind of about developing like coping mechanisms so that we can handle that, and it's not so much a crutch, you know, like there could be substances or like ice creams or drinks, or like anything that we could kind of use as a substance, as a crutch to say, okay, I'm dealing with that. But no, we're not really dealing with it. To deal with it is to kind of get comfortable with it inside you. I feel like I'm really preaching here. Sometimes I feel like I channel like Martin Luther King or something. No, I'm not even. Just like, yeah, like an old preacher coming through. Okay, let's get into the tarot. I can't stop at this. Guys, we gotta feel better. You gotta feel good. And I'm saying you've got to, because at this point, it's affecting you physically. It feels like it's gone beyond, well, I'm just having a bad day. I deserve to have a bad day. And yes, you do. And you don't have to put on a happy face for anybody. But I kind of feel like you are. I'm going to pull the tarot card for each one of these positions, and then, oh my God. Thinking about the extended. Oh my God. Oh goodness. 10 of Wands. Your thoughts. Okay, hubris and indecision. This is so heavy on you. Oh. It's like you carry a secret. You know, this feels like the weight of, you know, any stories I've read of someone who's had great financial success in their life, and their family has become expectant of a certain lifestyle. And then the money's all gone. It's just all gone. Like something happened. I don't know. You put it all into one stock, and then the stock crashed and it's gone. And not wanting to tell your family, like, you know, or you lost that executive job. You can't tell them. So you get up every morning at the same time, and you dress like you're going to work, and you leave. But you sit in the park all day and you stress. That's exactly kind of what this feels like. Like, it's something that feels like that kind of heavy, like not even. You know, this is it's heavy. I have to clear after I come out of this energy. So your motivation is your health and the anxiety. You know that your mental health is taking a battering here. The Queen of Swords. You need to cut something out of your life. You really need to cut something out. It could be thinking. It could be how you see. Well, I want to say it could be. There's something here for sure. If you're still with me and this is resonating, there's some sort of thinking that you need to cut out. There could be some people in your life that you need to cut out. You need to get clear. You want to get clear, though. This is your motivation. You're feeling sovereignty and financial constraints. The Magician. Oh, okay. So your feelings, I don't know. This could have something to do with finances for you. And I just feel like, because this came up, and then we had man holding a coin, and behind that was deceit. You know, he's hiding behind. So wanting to manifest, I'm just going by the cards. Wanting to manifest, your feelings here are you want to manifest more money for yourself, more personal sovereignty, like having more choices in life about what you can and cannot do. Because, you know, we do live in a world where you kind of need money. It's like that right now. And it's almost as if, kind of think, it's just like getting the cart and the horse in front of the cart. Because it's almost as if your feelings are, okay, if I have enough money, if I have enough this, I'll be happy. It'll get rid of my anxiety. No, you're not getting money and wealth because you have this mental anxiety about your happiness wrapped up around it. You've got to get good with you. You've got to see that you could be the poorest person in the world and you still have the most meaning and importance and significance in the world. That does not have to be linked to money. I can see this, the wisdom. Appreciate what you know of yourself. This is your first set of advice. Appreciate what you know of yourself. Appreciate you for everything you are. And then over here is that inspiration is actually your personal healing and happiness will bring you the wealth that you need in your life. It really will. And you could say, well, Cindy, I know lots of miserable people that are rich. Yeah, because they're happy being miserable. Honest to God, they're happy being miserable. Is that what you... Oh yeah, we're pulling off the top here. Strength card, advice for you. When, you know, this is the kind of energy, this is the hardest shit to do. Because this is the stuff you do by yourself. In your room, in the dark. Nobody can teach you this but you. Nobody can. That's why Thoth called you into the library. Thoth is the teacher for the gods. The professor for the gods. That's where all the gods go for advice. But all of us are God, goddess energy. The answer you need, you have within yourself. Advice in the future, inspiration, and door to personal healing and happiness. The Three of Pentacles. I kind of think that there's something that you might be meant to do that could be creative, could be artistic, but it may not show up as being, you know, like the most prestigious thing to do in the world. You're painting pentagrams and they're dripping down the wall. Working with others here, you know, you could find inspiration. There's, I don't know if there's anything like this in your neighborhood or where you are, but sometimes there's those, it's, like artistic healing. Is that what it's called? It's artwork, like you paint your emotions, you paint your thoughts, and they don't have to, like, they don't have to be symbols or any recognizable objects or anything like that. It's just, you just paint out your emotions. And then you can even write what it looks like and what it felt like. Judgment is at the bottom. See, now, there is a new beginning here for you. But I feel like first you have to get past judging yourself. Judging yourself. That's the, yeah, that's who you're judging the most here. Judging yourself. Whoa. Okay. Sagittarius, my loves, my friends. I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to ask what you don't really see about yourself. So until next time, my friends, really do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.